Welcome to SAP Analytics Tutorial.com. This video is for the users who wish to learn BW ABAP. Now I am going to teach about data types. Before we start writing code, we should know at least these four data types: integer, decimal, character, and string. Now we see each one in detail. First, I will give you a basic understanding of these four data types and later provide you a demo on how to use these and perform operations on these. First, we discuss about integer. It is used to store data of type numeric. This can be used to store numbers without decimals. It was represented with symbol I. Arithmetic operations can be performed on this data. Syntax for in this data type declaration is data counter type I. Here counter is a variable which is used to save numeric data, and type of data type we have to specify here as I, integer it means. Okay, I will give you more details on this, like in detail about integer and all, when I am showing a demo in the SAP system. Okay, now let's go to decimal type. So decimal type, it is used to store data of type numeric in decimal format. Okay, it was represented with symbol P. Arithmetic operations can be performed on this data. Syntax of defining a decimal variable is like amount within bracket 7 type P decimals 3. So this representation, what it's showing is 7 is the total length of the figure, and out of 7 I am defining 3 characters as a decimal. So if you see the below example amount, which is 250.500, so here I mentioned 3 as decimals on the above, so it means it gives only 3 decimals. If I out of 7 characters, we see 3 as decimals and remaining 4 as a number format. Okay, if I reduced this decimal places to 2 here, then I will get the number like 250.50 only. Okay, and in the demo I can give more details on it. Next, what is the difference between integer and decimal? The main difference between integer and decimal is the type of data we are going to save. In integer, I can't save data of this decimal type. System automatically will make it as an integer, even though if I try to save this decimal data on integer using type system typecasting. Okay, and quickly go to the character data type. Let's see the character data type. So it is used to store data of type alphanumeric. It means both characters and numbers. Both type of data can be saved using this data type. This can be used to store numbers, alphabets, and special characters as well. It was represented using symbol C. Simple arithmetic operations can be performed on this data type. We'll give you more details about the simple arithmetic operations. Syntax of defining this character is data type is data name 20 type I. Here within brackets I type it 20. It means the max length of data which I save in this name field is 20. Sorry, of type C. Okay, max length of data which I can save on this field is 20. That's why here if we want to save only one character field in it, then for example take flag type C. If I didn't define any length to this variable, it means it saves only one character. If I want to save two characters, then I have to give specify the length here, flag2 of type C. Like this, how much length we want to provide to this variable, that much we need to mention here. Okay, now let's see the string. So string, it is used to store data of type alphanumeric. Okay, this can be used to store numbers, alphabets, and special characters. It was defined with type string. Syntax of defining a string variable is data, name, type string. So what was the difference between this character and string? If we know the max length of a variable while defining it, then we can define that variable using data type C, character. And if we don't know the max length, then better to go of type string. In BW, apart from using these four data types, integer, decimal, character, string, we can define a variable using data element of an info object. Data element is binded to an info object. Whenever we are creating any info object, then based upon the length and the data type, system defines its data element in the backend. So here I given the syntax of how to generate a data element of any info object. Here I taken one standard info object and custom info objects. Coming to standard info object, zero material, how to write its data element. We can go to the backend tables and check the data element, or else it's easy to remember it also, defining how to define it. So for standard info object, how we can define a data element is by prefixing the material, that info object name, with /bi0/oi material. Here what I did is, we are just need to remove that 0 and prefix with /bi0/oi. If it is a standard, then we need to prefix with /bi0/oi. If it is a custom info object, we need to prefix with /bic/oi. In custom info object, no need to remove anything from the starting. We need to provide the info object name as it is and prefix with /bic/oi. The difference between the standard and the custom here in the definition is, in standard the fourth character is 0. In custom, the fourth character is C, which is defining a custom info object. So it's easy to remember, and at the time of definition of a variable also, it's easy to define it. And what is the advantage of defining a variable using its data element instead of writing its data type? The advantage here is, if there is a case of increasing the length of any info object, then we can do it in BW. But if you defined in the program, wherever you are using it, if you defined it using data type C and length specifically, then you have to come back to the program and change the program according to the length. If we define it using data element, system will take care automatically at the time of execution of the program. So that's an advantage of defining a variable using its data element. And the data element is always binded to its info object properties. So in BW, we always come to a scenario where we need to make material to be displayed like conversion exits we call it as. So prefixing zeros to a value while saving into the data, like that. So it gives a flexibility and to use conversion exits if we define a variable using its data element. Now let's do a demo on defining variables using these data types and data element. Now I am going to create a program gdemo underscore data types to practice this. Now let's click on create. We need to provide a description to this program. Type executable program. Click on save. Give local object. For better understanding of writing code and data types concept, let's take a very simple example to our first exercise. So my first example is addition of two numbers. So to perform addition of two numbers and saving it the result back to one variable. So I'm defining here three variables. To define a variable, here we need to write a data statement here. After that, let's start defining our variables. Always local variables while giving naming convention. So naming convention is one of the important aspect while we need to keep in our mind while writing a code. So to define any local variable, we generally use L underscore. I can give an L underscore number one. L represents here local variable. Okay, L number type I. Since I am going to perform operations on a number format, the two numeric numbers, I am giving data type as I. This my second variable is L underscore number two type I. To save the result, I am defining a local variable, third local variable L underscore result type I. Now let's assign some value to our variables. How to assign is L underscore number equal to 10, which means this statement is assigning a value of 10 to L underscore number one variable. So it is storing 10 value in this variable. Okay, and now I am storing second value into my second variable 20. So now two variables defined. After that we assign two numbers to two variables. Now I have to perform the arithmetic operation. Result L underscore result equal to L underscore number one plus L underscore number two. Okay, now this statement what it is doing is it is adding the two numbers and saving the result back into L underscore result. So always the value assignment happens from right to left. Okay, now to write my result on the console, which is the output screen, I have to write a statement called write colon L underscore result. This statement prints the result whatever value is there under in this variable into the console, that is called output screen. Okay, let's activate this program by clicking on the activate symbol, and then by clicking on this execute button we can see the output. See, 30, we got it. So this program is mainly to understand how to define a variable and how to perform operations using a variable and how we can check our result on the output screen. Important point in while writing code is providing comments. So comments plays a major role in writing code, because using comments we can tell to someone who later reviewing this code what we are going to perform, why we define this variable, and what this logic is going to do. So it's a easy way of it provides a easiness to understand a code even though it is of 1,000 lines also by having a simple comments. So that's why providing comments is always a essential while writing the code. And how to provide comments. If we want to write comments at the end of the statement, we need to use double quotes. See here I given double quotes and I am writing my comment as declaration of variable of first variable. It's a generic comment I am writing here. It's not any meaningful, but my intention is to show how to write a comments here. Okay, before add arithmetic operation, I want to write a comment called addition of two numbers. If you see here the line starts with star. Any line which is having star at 0 position. Position means, if you can see in ABAP, see column position column 1 at the bottom right hand side bottom of the window, wherever you put cursor we can get that cursor position. If I am putting my cursor after 20 dot, so my cursor position I can see on the bottom right hand side bottom column 13, sorry, line 13 column 6. It means it is col column 13, line 13 and column 16. So if I put star at the starting position of a line, then it will comment the entire line. So we have in two ways we can provide a comment. One is at somewhere at the end of the line declaration, like using double quote. And if we want to comment the entire line, then provide star at first position of a line, then it will comment the total line. So in these two ways we can provide comments, and we can do comments of multiple lines at a time. For example, you have 100 lines which you want to comment it. It's not easy to go to each line and provide star at the starting position. So in that case, how we can comment multiple lines at a time is select all the lines which you want to comment and press Ctrl plus less than symbol, which automatically comments all the selected lines. And to uncomment, again select all the lines and click Ctrl plus greater than symbol. It uncomments all the lines. Like this, you can do a comment multiple lines at a time, which makes our life easier while commenting.